good people. The people who are left here, we are really glad that you are strong-hearted and you are here because you care about fentanyl killing the people we love. And right here in Davidson County, 397 people are dead because of fentanyl. This is my daughter, Sophia Walsh. She's 24 years old. She died because she was thirsty. She drank a bottle of water that, unbeknownst to her, had fentanyl in it, and she died. The person did not have Narcan, did not give her naloxone, did not report it to EMS for 10 hours. She is the reason why I am here today. I had to keep my other 3 daughters alive to make sure that they wouldn't self-medicate, because fentanyl is appearing in counterfeit pills and in many other substances. When people try to self-medicate for any reason, they end up dead. So I'm going to share with you some information about the state of North Carolina, and particularly about Davidson County, and what we can do to prevent some of these deaths. So this is my low-tech PowerPoint. I know many people far, far away out there can't see it, so I'm going to read it out loud. The organization that I founded on Sophia's 1-year anniversary is called Fentanyl Victims Network of North Carolina, where there's a lot of focus on the national, but there's not a lot of focus about North Carolina. And when I finally found out 5 months after Sophia died that she was killed by fentanyl, I couldn't find any information about fentanyl in North Carolina. So I kept notes for a whole year, and my husband, Mike Walsh, who's sitting right down there taking pictures, do a wave, Mike. He developed a website that is publicly accessible 24/7, so that when your loved one dies from fentanyl and you're up at 3 a.m. trying to figure out what the law is, what you can do, that website is there for you. It was not there when I needed it, but it's there for all the new victims. That is called fentvic.org. So, what is the death count from fentanyl in North Carolina? It's 17,805 dead people killed by fentanyl in the last 10 years. That's a lot. Is that UNCG? Is that a Villa Football Coliseum? That's a lot of dead people. Last year, 3,324 people were killed by fentanyl in North Carolina. Fentanyl kills people in all 100 counties. There are no counties untouched. In the month of April of 2024, 202 North Carolinians were killed by fentanyl. Every month, it's somewhere between 200 and 300 people. Right now, fentanyl is killing 10 people every day in North Carolina. Davidson County, the people who are here today, 397 citizens or residents of North Carolina Davidson County have been killed by fentanyl in 10 years. Forsyth County, Mike wanted to make sure I brought this up. Forsyth County has 625 dead people from fentanyl. Just make sure you understand what is fentanyl. Fentanyl is a man-made chemical. It can be a powder, a liquid, or it also can be compressed into a pill form. But what's really deadly about fentanyl is it takes 2 nanograms to kill somebody. Basically, put them to sleep, just like a dog. 2 nanograms is the size of 5 grains of sand. So it's very easy to hide. Very easy to hide in, or the other thing about fentanyl is it's really cheap because it's man-made. Nobody has to grow it. They don't have to worry about a hurricane coming in and wiping out their crops. It's super, super cheap. So when we have these entrepreneurs who set up a business in North Carolina to kill other North Carolinians, and their product that they sell is controlled substances, and they want to make more money, they cut fentanyl into their cocaine. They put fentanyl into what they call pressed pills, and they'll make pressed pills in their basement to look just like OxyContin, to look just like a Percocet, to look just like a Xanax. What is in these pills are fentanyl additives that people don't know about. If nobody has taken fentanyl before, they're very susceptible. If they've just gotten clean, and they had a tolerance to fentanyl before, it's gone. And they're very susceptible to death. And so they think, oh, I was addicted to Percocet. So I get a Percocet, and it has a fentanyl additive in it, and they're dead. These are teenagers, all babies, finding it on the floor. So 2 nanograms. We talked about counterfeit pills. Right now, if you're getting street pills, not from a pharmacy, 7 out of 10 of those street pills contain deadly fentanyl additives. That's the message that we want families to know, parents to know, and teenagers to know. Because they could save their life if they say, nope, I'm not taking that pill because I don't know where it came from. So, unlike a lot of things, we have an antidote. We have something that can save lives, and that is naloxone. You probably have heard the word called Narcan. There's another brand called Cloxato, and there's another one called Revive. All of it is naloxone, and it's very easy. You simply spray it in one nostril for somebody who is unconscious. If that person is not unconscious because of fentanyl or an opioid, nothing will happen to them. They will not be harmed. So we have an antidote. We have some folks here who are handing it out. I encourage you to make sure you take some. Take some to share with your families. Take some to share when you're vendors and you're at another public event. Make sure it is in your supply box. You could save someone's life. The other thing that we want to see happen is to make sure that all the schools in North Carolina stock naloxone. It is emergency medical equipment. I have a fire extinguisher in my home just in case I have a fire. Naloxone should be in every medical kit and in every home just in case something happens. You could save their life. In North Carolina, it depends on the school board in every county to decide whether naloxone can be added or available in the school. And right now, we have 26 school districts that allow naloxone in there, and since November, we have had 4 counties additional. So we started at 22, now we have 26 that approved they're going to save lives. That's Harnett County, Wake County, Mecklenburg County, and just recently Forsyth County. All of them changed their health policy to allow naloxone in every school, not just the school resource officer. But here in Davidson County, we have an interesting situation. They're not one of the counties that allows naloxone on campus. In the 3 city school districts, they allow naloxone to be carried by school resource officers. And that is typically at the high school level. And what if the school resource officer is dealing with a fight and there's somebody who goes down in the library? That naloxone on that school resource officer is not going to help that student. But if they had it in their medical kit with their EpiPens and their AEDs and their fire extinguishers, the school medical team, all schools have those for emergencies, could save that student's life. Instead, they have to wait for the EMS to show up. Who knows how long that will take? So that's the city schools. Let's talk about the Davidson County schools. They are not allowed to have naloxone on any of the campuses. They are not allowing school resource officers to carry naloxone. And so To me, when I hear that, I hear, oh, the school board doesn't care about their students. They're not going to be there to save a student's life. That is wrong. So there's some information up in my tent. We have a strategy on how to change that. So definitely want you as citizens of Davidson County to speak out at your school board meetings. 0. That is the number of dead people we can bring back. That is the number of sons and daughters and husbands and uncles, aunts and cousins who can be brought back to us because they died from fentanyl. And it means we're going to live with that for the rest of our lives. If you have the opportunity to save someone's life, do it. Say the word fentanyl out loud without shame. Talk to young people so they are adequately informed. Talk to parents who have children so they are adequately informed. Don't talk about this as an overdose. Because as soon as you say the word overdose, 50% of your audience cuts out because they're like, my kid doesn't do drugs, my kid doesn't overdose. No, we want to talk about this as a fentanyl emergency. That's what it is. If they go down, it is an emergency. We don't know that it's an overdose, so stop calling it that. Some people refer to it as a fentanyl poisoning because many of these people who ingest fentanyl, like my daughter, like so many of these people, didn't know. And it wasn't their choice to die. It wasn't their choice to take fentanyl. And because as soon as someone hears that they died because of fentanyl, the attitude towards that death changes. Some people call that stigma. I think that's too big of a word. A lot of people don't understand that. I call that judgment. Someone is judging Sophia because she died from fentanyl, and she didn't even know it. That's wrong. We have to stop that. We have to start talking about fentanyl like it really is. It's dangerous. It's everywhere, and we can do something about it. So this all started with Sophia. I miss her every day. We can't bring her back. We can't replace her, but I can do what she would do, and her philosophy in life was to work hard and do good. And that's what we're doing in her name by saving someone else's life. And we will never know whose life we save, but we're still going to try. Thank you very much.
Amen.